Hello and welcome back to another episode of Why Are We Doing This? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? I came across this like a couple days ago, and then now I've come across it again, and then now I've seen that it's going to be coming out within the next like week or so. Sometime really soon it's going to be released. It is what Elon Musk is deeming Grokipedia. Essentially, here's the rundown, okay? This is, as far as I can tell, what is leading to the creation of Grokipedia, or just people in general wanting Grokipedia to exist. Of course, if you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, it's just Wikipedia, but powered by Grok by some capacity. And as y'all unfortunately know by now, I spend a lot of time in political spheres, okay? And I very often see people citing sources like Wikipedia is very, very biased. Now, to their credit, Wikipedia is biased. In the US, the Wikipedia is biased. I don't know why I just decided, Jesus Christ, my brain is not going to my tongue today. I don't know why I just decided to say the Wikipedia. That's what I tried to say. That wasn't important though. On the global scale, politics on the US are a lot more shifted to the right than they are everywhere else. And Wikipedia is a global platform. There are people editing on Wikipedia from anywhere. So generally, it would make sense that if on average, the average person in the globe lands further left than what the American center is, then yeah, of course, it would make sense that Wikipedia would feel as an American to have a left-leaning bias. That's just how it's gonna be. And that's even past that, Wikipedia does still have a slightly left-leaning bias on top of like the global bias scale, but that of course makes it, as like someone who lives in the US and spends all of their time reading and watching US sources, to get the perception that Wikipedia is a lot further left than it actually is. So anyways, I've seen Wikipedia cited so many times in so many places. Frankly, I don't believe that Wikipedia is that bad of a place to cite anymore. Growing up, I don't know if they still do this. They did it a ton whenever I was growing up, saying like, no, you can't cite Wikipedia. You can't cite Wikipedia. Anyone can edit Wikipedia. Wikipedia is not a reliable source. It's bad. Wikipedia bad. Wikipedia bad. Now, like the vast majority of my research is like Wikipedia or AI at this point. Both of them, I would argue, are horrible sources to check, but it's kind of recommended now. That's kind of just what we're told to do because it's been recognized that it's actually not that bad. But anyways, in these online debates, I keep hearing Wikipedia bad, Wikipedia bad. If someone has a left-leaning opinion that they're citing or that they're backing up with something that they're citing Wikipedia for, it's just the response is always like, nope, that fact is false. You cited Wikipedia. So the right, as far as I can tell, does not have a Wikipedia, right? They just have general. Because I've very, very commonly seen it said not to use Wikipedia for people on the right because Wikipedia does not say the things that they believe to be true. I'm speaking very partisanly here, I've now noticed. But I'm not going to care. I'm going to keep going. So Elon Musk and his Tony Stark brain, i.e. his intern, have decided that they are going to turn XAI into the next Wikipedia because they have full control over XAI and, as an extension, Grok. So they're able, they can do their stuff. Grok is already like pretty pushed to the right, and so it makes sense to use that as a standpoint to build their Grokipedia off of. Elon Musk announced that his AI company, XAI, will launch the early beta for its Wikipedia competitor in 2 weeks, describing the service as the answer to falsehoods and half-truths. Musk initially announced XAI was building Grokipedia on September 30th, stating on X that it will be a massive improvement over Wikipedia, adding that, frankly, it is a necessary step toward the XAI goal of understanding the universe. Details on the specifics are currently sparse. However, Musk has previously stated that Grokipedia will consist of an open source knowledge repository. So I don't know what on earth this open source repository that is going to tell full truths is going to be. I know what Grok is built on, right? Grok is built on a whole lot of Twitter and Reddit and a bunch of the other services that all of the other like what's it called, LLM models, I forgot what that acronym stands for. A lot of those other models use to build themselves, right? What I don't like knowing is that it's going to be, of course, as Wikipedia is publicly sourced, okay? It is an open source knowledge repository. Maybe open source means that they're going to show their sources? No, Wikipedia does that too. That's not special. Because they just say open source, and open source doesn't directly mean that it's like collaborative, right? That anyone can go and add knowledge to it. I'm going to assume that that means anyone can go and add knowledge to it. I'm pretty sure there's like a more specific word for that I didn't write this article. I don't know who wrote this article. Maybe they just decided to say open source instead. Not sure, don't know. But if it is the case that it is open source and anyone can add their knowledge to it, the only thing, right, because Wikipedia is open source, anyone can add their knowledge to it, the only thing that would make this tell full truths is if they purposely directed it to say things that are not true. For example, the site like Wikipedia, a lot of complaints over the fact that Wikipedia is left is because it doesn't say things that are very right. And oftentimes the things that it's cited as not saying that end up being very right are just factually false. And the only way to mediate that, to make the person who is complaining about it not being right, to not complain, is to make it say those things that they're upset about it not saying. Does that make sense? Which would make it lie. It's not like I don't have, I could pull them out. I frankly don't feel like doing it right now. You're just going to have to trust me. And if you don't, complain in the comments or something, I don't know, I'll debate. It appears that the idea for Grokpedia was brainstormed during a live summit hosted by the All In podcast in September. During his appearance, Musk was explaining to the panel that Grok scans a wide range of sources, such as Wikipedia posts, documents, PDFs, where's the and, to verify if the information is true, partially true, false, or missing details. He said Grok would rewrite that information to convey what it deems as the full truth in response to co-host blah blah blah. From this reading, I can probably understand that the full truth is going to be the truth, and then also say some other sources said this. I may or may not be able to verify if it's true. That might be what is excusable as the full truth, which Grok still kind of does, or like Grok right now currently does. A lot of times, like I've seen people say, hey Grok, is this true? And Grok will be like, no, it's not true here are my sources. But some people have been parroting it as true. Like it's up to your own discretion or whatever, like what you believe. So maybe it's something like that. I honestly don't know. What I do know though is that this doesn't serve any benefit. I'm gonna be so honest. Like I will give props to this company whenever I can, but unfortunately Elon just does so much stuff that I just like want to hate on. I recently did a presentation on what's it called, building integrated photovoltaics, where basically that's an acronym that pretty much just means integrated solar panels like directly into the building on something like shingles, like a roof's shingles, i.e. the Tesla solar cells, or what were they called again? Like the Tesla solar shingles. That was the name. Which, when doing research for that presentation, I've been super fond of solar shingles and the whole idea of it, right? I'm like, okay, these are really cool. We need to make these bigger and better and perfect. And lo and behold, during that presentation or doing the research for that, I learned that Tesla's actually substantially scaling it back because of the litany of quality control issues, along with, a same litany of quality control issues for their cars that they're putting out. So like Tesla's well known as just a really bad quality company. And then now I'm looking over here at another one of Elon's creations, XAI, which has, I've come on and talked about this a couple times, and I've seen it happen over and over again, where they have made one of the most divisive like chatbots that just exists, where there have been so many instances where it just goes absolutely off the rails and has started causing substantial problems. Something that all of the other chatbots, or all of the other major ones, all of the other big popular ones, just don't do, because they're not trying to make something that is as like, what's it called, volatile as this one. So I see a service titled Grokpedia as something that I should be worried about a lot more than excited about, especially after reading what exactly it is and what exactly it does, seeing it backed behind the AI that claimed itself once to be Mecha Hitler, to tell the real full truth, in contrast to right now Wikipedia as we have it, doesn't really spark joy. It really doesn't. On top of that, I don't see the purpose of having a dedicated Blankopedia like powered by AI. As of now, Grokpedia exists. I will tell you right now, Grokpedia already exists. Go to twitter.com, open Grok, and then type in your query. That's Grokpedia. The only difference between that and what Grokpedia will be, as far as this is just going to be my prediction. The only difference is that it'll have a web interface that does not have to regenerate responses based on current information. It's going to generate a response and then leave it there until maybe someone adds, like maybe it'll be like a web page, like a Wikipedia web page, where instead of supplying it directly with the words, maybe you supply it with generic information, or you like give it a news article or something, and then it factors that into the page and updates it for everyone else to come. I don't know. The only benefit to that I can possibly see is that you can have the web page written in a certain tone for every single web page, and then you can have it concatenate a really wide range of information to be updated once, and then you don't have to run a query every single time, like using data, or like what's it called, like energy or server power, whatever. Putting load on the servers, that's the word I'm coming up with. Maybe that would be a benefit. I just don't see why this is like super important or special though. I'm gonna be honest. Seeing it behind the name Grok is the only thing really that makes me worried about it. If this were behind Wikipedia, if Wikipedia made an AI to go through their website and do this stuff, I would honestly be fine with that. If like Perplexity or Gemini or OpenAI did any of these, I would be fine with it. I only have problems with the Grok name. If this was another company that they didn't even say, like they said had nothing to do with what's it called, XAI, right? If it was just a shell company that technically was just XAI but had a completely different name, I would honestly be fine with it, because I don't know that that's Grok. This, I know it's Grok, and I've seen Grok be one of the worst agents out there. Granted, I have seen Elon posting a lot about how it scores really high on like the rankings, but at the same time, I've seen it spout a lot of lies. So I don't know how much I can trust it. I'm gonna be so honest. Anyways, that's it. That's the end of my ramble. Bye.